जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं। जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं। ओ प्यारे लाडलों कह कर, ओ प्यारे लाडलों कह कर हमें दिल में बसाए हैं। जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं।
जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं।
लगा लो योग अब शिव से, ये मौका फिर न आएगा। समझ लो वक्त का नगमा, नहीं तो फिर पछताएगा। ओ वरदान बांटने आए, ओ वरदान बांटने आए, साथ में स्वर्ग लाए हैं। जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं।
जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं।
बनाकर मन को पावन अब चले हम नभ से भी ऊपर। बुलाते बाबा अपने संग, वतन में आओ अपने घर। बिछा कर पलके वो अपनी, बिछा कर पलके वो अपनी, वतन से हमें निहारे हैं। जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं।
जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं।
दरस को तरस थे अब तक, वो हमको रोज मिलते हैं। कमल सम बन गया जीवन, खुशी के फूल खिलते हैं। वो मेरे हैं मैं हूं उनका, वो मेरे हैं मैं हूं उनका। वो सब कुछ हम पे वारे हैं। जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं।
जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं।
ओ प्यारे लाडलों कह कर, ओ प्यारे बसाए हैं। जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं।
जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं।
जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं।
जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं। जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे हैं। जिन्हें ढूंढे थे हम दर दर, ओ भगवन आप पधारे।
Om Shanti. Let's begin with Shiv Baba's remembrance. Just like the sun that rises every morning, my Baba the sun of knowledge has appeared for me in this beautiful morning of the confluence age. I, the soul, pass through the day the evening and the night of this Srishti. I took 8 births in a deity world in the golden age. Then 12 births in the deity world in silver age. Then I played the role of a devotee, a worshipper, for the next 21 births in copper age. I saw a lot of misery in Kali Yuga. But now the darkest night is over. And the Gyan Surya, my sweet parent, has come for me. My Baba has brought light into me. And light into the world. I am every day receiving the light of knowledge. This light is enabling me to see myself as I am. I'm a free bird. Absolutely free to soar in the sky of peace and happiness. I am a joyful, peaceful soul. My experience of life is my creation. Now I choose to think peacefully and think happy thoughts in every situation, come what may. I never let go of my happiness, my peace. I do not fall into the trap of ego. My essence is joy. I stay true to my essence in all circumstances. I am always surrounded by the ocean of bliss. I am always in the awareness of Baba's blessing and bliss surrounding me. This life with you, my Baba. This morning with you, my Baba, is beautiful. This is the best phase of my journey of life. When I am with the Almighty, the ocean Himself. Just sit with these thoughts for some time. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Yesterday we started the picture of the ladder. We will continue that today. And this is our picture of our journey of 84 births. And I told you that in this journey, we have 8 births in Satyug, 12 in Treta Yuga, 21 in Dwapar Yuga, and 42 in Kali Yuga. And 1 birth is this confluence aged birth. Now, I want to first point out 2 things. First is, what is the deciding factor deciding when I would come down from the soul world? Okay, so here we are meditating, and the purpose of remembering Shiv Baba is to burn our sins. I told you earlier also. And what is burning of sins? So you see, in 63 births of Dwapar and Kali Yuga, we performed action under the influence of lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. In the first 2 yugas, in the golden age, silver age, there is no lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. The soul is completely sato pradhan, which means pure in 100% purity of the soul. And then when the soul takes births, then half of its power reduces by the time the soul reach copper age. And then the vices creep in, like the darkness entering where there is less light. And then I perform vicious actions, and then that creates a burden of sin. Okay? So that is called the burden of sins. Now, when you do an action repeatedly, what happens is it creates a sanskar. Yes, I have told you that sanskar is created through repeated action. So now we have created many vicious sanskars. And when we say vikarma ka boj or burden of sins, it means the sanskars that we have created by doing pap karma. So the pap karma that we do it and that goes. But then what sanskar I create out of doing that pap karma stays with me. So I am carrying all the pap that I did in the form of sanskars with me. And then when I draw light and might and knowledge from Shiv Baba, then I am able to do new action. Do you remember that image where the soul was getting influenced? So the mind and the sanskar were in a loop, yes? And the sanskar was dictating the mind, and then Shiv Baba comes and then the intellect gets activated and you understand differently, and then you have power and virtues, and then you act differently and create a new sanskar. It was in the 4th or 5th day maybe that we discussed that. You can go back and check. So through that, through engaging in knowledgeful, powerful action, through this relationship with Shiv Baba, we will be able to change our sanskars, and that is called burning of sanskars or vikarm vinash. Now, everybody who listens to knowledge also doesn't make this effort of sitting in Shiv Baba's remembrance and drawing light and might and burning sanskars to an equal measure. And then there are many who don't listen to knowledge at all, right? So the moment when these three things will happen, destruction through civil war, atomic nuclear war and natural calamities, when that time arrives, not a moment but it will be a phase of time, and when that time arrives, then all the souls will leave bodies, correct? And when they leave bodies, when we souls leave the body, we will have a certain amount of purity depending on what effort we have made, and that purity will range from 100 to 0%, right? So some souls will make the effort now and purify themselves 100%, others won't make that effort and the purity will be maybe 0% also, and then we all have to go back. So before going back, so this world that we come from is a pure world. The soul world is a pure world. So you cannot go back just like that. So until and unless you become pure, you cannot go back. So Shiv Baba gives us two options. Become pure pyar se or maar se. Okay, so if you don't listen to Shiv Baba and don't make Rajyoga your daily practice, and don't exacerbate your sins by reacting in karmic settlements, if you don't make this choice that I change my sanskars through yoga and then I draw power and I'm in a knowledgeful, peaceful, pure state, and when some karmic account comes up, maybe physical health issue or some relationship issue, I'm not reacting very much and I'm trying to settle it. If I don't make that choice, then what happens? Before I go, I have to receive punishment, because you cannot go without being pure, and it is time to go back. There is a reason why Shiv Baba is called Kalon ke Kal Mahakal. When he comes, he will take us back, whether you like it, you don't like it, okay? So he will take us back. Now when he has to take us means the soul, not the body, right? So you are a soul, you are not the body. So when he has to take us back, first he is teaching us pyar se, so that you learn and you purify yourself with effort. If you don't do that also, you will receive punishment and we will go back. We will all go back to that sweet home and live with Shiv Baba again. Now, when it is time for the circle to repeat again, and again there is golden age and then the whole cycle is repeating, then those who have made 100% effort and become pure through effort will come in the beginning. Okay, so according to the effort you have made, you will come at different times. So it is not arbitrary that somebody just comes in the beginning and somebody just comes in the end. Those who make effort here, listen to Shiv Baba, make effort and purify themselves through effort, and the main effort is through yoga, through remembrance of Shiv Baba. And when you do that, then you come in the beginning, and the lesser effort you made, you come later until 0% effort, you come at the end. And then see, the time of happiness is reducing slowly. So the later you come, sorrow you will definitely see, because that is not optional. You have to come, that's not optional, and you will see sorrow, that's not optional. But the earlier you come, the more happiness you see. Okay, so then now it is wise for us to choose to make that effort and purify ourselves with that effort, so that we see the beginning. So I always give this example where I think of this whole drama, and I think that in Satyug and Treta Yug there's a big party going on. And then if I don't make effort during that party, I'm sleeping in the soul world. Soul world is almost like a sleep world, dead world. So I'm sleeping during the party. When it is time to wash the utensils, I get up. So I come down after that. So I come down in copper age and iron age. So I will have to clear all, I will have to face all the misery. So why should I only face the misery? Why should I not party also? So I should make effort, right? And anyways, in this world also, whether even if you don't think about coming to Satyug, in this effort also, in this world also, it has become impossible to just cross circumstances without the power of yoga. If you see, there are so many people committing suicides, right? Now, when I think about that, I always think about this fact that when a person commits suicide, it's because one person is not able to pass that one day. Passing that one day's events becomes so difficult. So you choose to, escape. So that, but you can't escape, because you go, your karma goes with you. You are in the same situation next birth. But one person, it's becoming so increasingly difficult to go through one day that people commit suicide. So you need power to go through what happens in a day also. So this meditation, this drawing of knowledge and purity and love and light from Baba is not optional. It's something that everybody has to do. And then those who do it will get the reward. You don't have to do it to go to Satyug. If you do it, if you understand the call of time and you do it, then you go to Satyug, which is a bonus. Okay, so then after having spent 2500 years in this world of purity, peace, love, prosperity, then you come down. Now I also told you, so now did you understand why souls come at different times and depending on what law? That is clear now. Now another thing I told you is 1250 years, 8 births, 12 births, 21 births, 42 births. Now you have to understand that in Satyug and Treta Yuga, in the golden age and silver age, death is certain, not uncertain. So when the soul is born into a body, The soul knows how many years it will stay in that body. Because here death is not a sudden thing that happens. It's something that happens at a definite time. It's very certain that you will leave this body and take another body at a certain time. So 1250 years divided by 8, that is exactly the number of years that every person lives in each birth of Satyug. And then because we have lived for 8 births and then purity is a little lesser, that's why in the Treta Yuga you have 1250 by 12, that much of age, certain age for every birth. But from the Copper Age, now when we come to the Copper Age, death is not like, it is not 1250 by 21 and 1250 by 42. That is not the average lifespan. That's not how you calculate, because here death is uncertain. And every birth, how many years you will live in this birth depends on what karma you did in the last birth. Here you are reaping the fruit of the karma you did here in Sangam Yuga. So everything is very nice and cool in Satyuga and Treta Yuga. But from the Copper Age, whatever you are reaping is a product of what you did in the last birth. And because vices have crept in, so there is a lot of vikarma. So that is why death is very uncertain. And some people die in the womb, some live up to 100 years, some die at 30, 40. So that starts happening from Dwapar Yuga to Kali Yuga. And any soul, the division of the lifespan will be different in every birth. But 1250 years, every soul will take 21 births and 42 births in Kali Yuga. So this is the division. Now, you see here there is Bharat shown. Now, when we are saying Bharat, in the song also you heard Bharat fir bharpur banega. So we are not talking about Bharat as in the Bharat that exists right now. No. We are talking about a big landmass which was called Bharat, and which was, you see, if you read history, many parts of many countries have broken away from Bharat in recent years only, right? And in the Satyug Treta Yuga era, Bharat was much bigger, and that was the only landmass that existed. And on that landmass there was the civilization, the deity civilization. And then at this juncture, at the middle, after the 12 to 2500 years finish, there is a lot of upheaval in nature, very similar to the Vinash that happens now, but in lesser magnitude. And in that upheaval also, there are many fragmentations that take place, and land also gets fragmented. And then people go and live in other land masses also, and so different countries are created. If you look at most countries, they are very recent. They are not old countries, because in the beginning there was just one nation, there was just one, and that was called Bharat, and that was much bigger than the India we have right now, or the Bharat we have right now. And it consisted of many other countries which are known as separate countries right now. And then at this time there is a division, because there is an upheaval. Now, how do you know that this upheaval took place? Do you know that there is no recorded dated history beyond 2500 years? So all that you listen to in the world about what happened 2500 years back, that is all speculation, because there is no recorded dated history beyond this. And why is there no recorded dated history? Because here there was a mini destruction which destroyed everything that existed in these 2500 years. And people are now speculating, some people are saying, there was this civilization, that civilization. But Shiv Baba comes and tells us, no, there was the deity civilization before that. So everybody is giving you, the historians, the scientists, the mythology, the people from mythology, they are all giving you different ideas about what existed before 2500 years. And we all believe in those theories according to our convenience. But Shiv Baba comes and tells us that this, before 2500 years, this deity civilization existed. And it is up to you to believe it or reject it. But if you are a deity soul, your heart will say that, this is true. So if you ask me, there is no logic to discern the truth. Truth is not understood logically. There is something called the ring of truth. And when you listen to the truth, you just feel it in your heart. And I am here in this, in this life as a BK because my heart said all that Shiv Baba is saying is true, and this is Shiv Baba. And there is no other proof of it. So this is what Shiv Baba says. And then when this division takes place, then there are many lands that are formed, and then in every land there is a different civilization, religion coming up. So in the east you have Buddha spreading religion, then west there is Abraham, then in other parts there are other civilizations coming up. And in the Bharat that's left after that, after that upheaval, we start doing bhakti. Why? Because when we have spent 2500 years taking rebirth, then the soul has lost most of its power because energy in motion depletes itself. And then in that depleted state, we are affected by vices. And when the vices come in, we do vikarma. Under the influence of lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, we are creating pap karma. And because of that pap karma, we are experiencing sorrow. Sorrow is a product of pap karma. And because we are experiencing sorrow, we start searching for God. In these two yugas, we are deities. There is no sorrow. We don't search for God in these two yugas. In these two yugas, this world is a temple. So we don't make temples for God. But here, when the world becomes vicious, it starts becoming vicious, we start making small temples here and there, because everywhere there is no purity, so you have to create pure places somewhere, right? So this is how bhakti starts. And in the beginning, you see, the soul is not that unaware. The soul is not very far away from the truth. So the first temple we build in Bharat is the Somnath temple. And in the Somnath temple, we don't put a bodily figure. We don't create an idol. We create a Jyotirlingam. Yes. So we create a Shivling, which we call the Shiv Jyotirlingam. Yes. And why we create that Shivling is because Shiv Jyotirlingam means Shiva, the symbol of light. And we create this Shiv Jyotirlingam to show that Shiva is a point of light, and that we must forget our body consciousness when we go and connect with that point of light in the temple. But then we become more and more body conscious as time passes by, and then instead of becoming like God, we start creating God in the human form. And then first we create, after Shiv Baba, we create the image of Shri Krishna. So I told you that Shri Krishna was the first prince in Satyug. So when we come to the Copper Age, we get glimpses of what happened in Satyug. And then now that we are not that deity, having a glimpse of the deity that we were, we think that, this deity is worship worthy. So the same one who was the deity starts worshipping an image of their own self. Because now we have depleted and we are no longer a deity. So in Hindi it is said, Ape hi pujya, ape hi pujari. Which means the one that was worship worthy starts worshipping his own image. And these are not images of gods, these are images of our own selves. And we in Satyug were like this. And then we start creating these perfect images and worshipping them. And then we create the image of Sri Lakshmi Narayan, where we are talking about, perfect form of human beings and worshipping them so that we can, so we think that, I am a body and I connect more with a body. So I create the image of a perfect bodily being and then I start worshipping it so that I get some inspiration from it. But then we are worshipping everything. But then what happens is this thing that I don't want to become like the deity, because I have this in my awareness that the deity is higher, I am lower. You see, when we sing the praises of deities, what do we say? You are high and mighty and I am neech papi. Yes, we are saying that. So when I believe that I am neech papi and you are high and mighty, so I worship the deities, but I don't imbibe their gunas. Because I think they and I are different. My quality is different, their quality is different. If I knew that this is the image of my previous births, then maybe I would have, imbibed their qualities also. And then this worship wouldn't be that wrong, because yes, you worshipped somebody and you become like them. But you see, it's so interesting that we hear in the scriptures that Ravan was a very big Shiv Bhakt. Yes. And Ravan was so deeply a Shiv Bhakt that he got so many, so many boons and vardans and everything. But then Ravan remained Ravan only. So Ravan did so much of bhakti, he didn't change into Ram. So we believe that, if you do bhakti, then you will get powers from the one you worship, and those powers will help you kill somebody, will help you, control somebody, but those powers will not help you change yourself. This is how we are doing, we are going on doing bhakti. So this is how it happens. So first we build temples about Shri Krishna, Shri Lakshmi Narayan, but we never aim to become like them. So, there are two words, empowerment and powerful. So, when you say powerful, it means that you want to have power over someone else. And empowerment means you want to empower yourself. You want to become better. You want to become, uninfluenced. You don't want to influence anybody. You want to become uninfluenced. So Shiv Baba tells us that empowerment is the way, and Bhakti tells us becoming powerful is the way. Powerful over other, control others, penalize others. That is the power you get from Bhakti. No. So Shiv Baba says this is why you keep worshipping, but you don't imbibe their qualities. And then slowly what happens is you start creating their life stories more ordinary than before. So then you create the story of Sri Ram, Sri Sita, and then you say that, when you worship Sri Lakshmi Narayan, you say they lived in a perfect world, my world is imperfect, and I have problems, they don't have problems, they are in the ocean of milk, so I don't relate to them. So I need a relatable God, right? So I create Sri Ram, Sri Sita who are struggling and who are going to Vanvas and have issues, and so that is the kind of bhakti we start then. And then later we change to Shri Ganesh and Shri Hanuman, Why? Because we think that, now you see, Shri Ganesh is supposed to be the child of Shiva, but we think, I am not that eligible to worship the father, so let me worship the son at least, get something from the sun. And then I am not eligible enough to worship Shri Ram, so let me worship his Bhagat. So I am Bhagat ka Bhagat. Because I think, that is my stage. This suits me more. So I start doing this bhakti. And then, this Ravan here is in its full form. What is Ravan? The 10 heads of Ravan are lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, fear, laziness, jealousy, criticism, and Isha, Dvesh, Alasya, Grina, and hatred. So these are the 10 heads of Ravan. And then all this, while doing all this, the consciousness is they are mighty, I am lowly. So I become more lowly because you become what you believe. So we are believing all this while that I am lowly, I am not pure, I am not peaceful. So as is your consciousness, so you become. So that Ravan is raising his head and all the vices are increasing. And then at the end of Kali Yuga, so in the beginning of Kali Yuga, we start this. We start worshipping nature, Prakriti Pujan. So, this yagyas and this worshipping the people tree, Tulsi tree, they start here because then we are so vicious that I told you that God, soul, and then nature is below the soul. But when the soul depletes very much, it starts worshipping nature. So then the soul has become so tamo pradhan that it starts worshipping nature. And ultimately what we do is we say aham brahmasmi, that is when you stoop very low you say I am God only. And when you are the lowest and you start saying I am God and God is in me, then there is no scope for correction because that is the height of ego. Instead of searching for God and thinking about, reforming yourself with God's company, you start saying, I am only God. So this is the end of Kali Yuga. And here what happens is, people start doing all sorts of things. They are worshipping that same female and drowning that, and then ill-treating that same female, and they don't find any problem in these two acts. And these days you see the way we are functioning, we are, I remember there was one writer, and she was a writer who wrote for women, and her novels glorified women. And then she burnt her daughter-in-law alive. And this is the way we are functioning. There is no synchronicity between our thought, word and act. When we are sitting and talking, we are talking about something else, and then our actions show something else. I remember, there was, when I lived in a society earlier in another place, the center was running, and then in that place there was the people who had rented out that place to us, the landlords, they stayed downstairs and we stayed upstairs. And then they used to beat their daughter-in-law every day. And then one day the son came upstairs and he talked about so many scriptures to me that I was appalled that, this person, he is reciting so many hymns from so many scriptures, and then he is beating his wife every day. Then after, he had finished sharing all this knowledge with me, I asked him, you know what, I have seen people talking a lot of sense and then doing a lot of insensible acts. I hope you are not one of them. And then he exactly knew what I was saying, and I didn't have to say anything else. And then he said, I know what you're saying and I will pay attention to it. So this is how, we are behaving. So we are talking about something else, we are thinking in a certain way. Our ideas come from scriptures and mythologies and books and great ideas. But then when it comes to action, we are very vicious in our actions. And then Shiv Baba comes and tells us that you, the soul, is depleted and you need to recharge yourself so that you do better. And then we come and sit with Shiv Baba. Okay, so this is the ladder, and I will also mention one more detail of this ladder. So you see, there is people think that people think about karma in a very different way, but Shiv Baba tells us the connection between karma and time. Yes, karma and time has a very deep connection. So Baba says that in the golden age and silver age, it is the time for what we say akarma. What is akarma? A karma that has no consequence, good or bad. Okay, so in the golden age and silver age, there is akarma. Why? Because you cannot give sorrow to anybody, because you are peaceful, loveful, pure, so you cannot give sorrow, and nobody needs happiness because everybody is happy. So your actions neither give sorrow nor happiness to anybody. And that is why in Satyuga and Treta Yuga, these two yugas, the time is that of akarma. You cannot, and karma is an aspect of time. Only when the time comes do you have the choice for that kind of karma. So in Satyuga, Treta Yuga, it's the time for akarma. Then from Copper Age, you are body conscious, right? When you are body conscious, you do everything with ego, everything with lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. You do good act, you do bad act. You are doing everything motivated by vices. Yes. Just think about any one act that you do in the whole day which is not motivated by vices. Even when you get up, you're not getting up for God or anything. You're getting up for, earning or sending children to school or doing work. All of that is ego or attachment or lust or something else. So in this Dwapar and Kali Yuga, we don't have a choice. We do Vikarma, which is the only natural state, because we are body conscious. Body conscious souls cannot do good karma. Even if you donate, in Kali Yuga, you do it with ego. And I remember there was one Mata, she once told me that, Didi, I am a very good person and I never brag about the good deeds I do. I never brag about the good deeds I do. She told me 10 times I never brag, and then she said, just this morning, I helped a blind person cross the street. So I said, yes, and you never brag. Yes, so this is what, you want people to see that you're doing good karma. You want people to know that you're doing good karma. You don't do it without that. So this is the time for Vikarma. Nobody does good karma here. Okay, you do some dan punya, you get that return, the little return, but then we are all wallowing in sorrow. Why? Because we are basically doing bad karma all the time. And karma and time are related. And then in this time, when we belong to Shiv Baba, and Shiv Baba teaches us indirect karma with people and direct karma with Shiv Baba. Shiv Baba teaches us what? Indirect karma with everybody and direct karma with Shiv Baba, which means that you do everything for Shiv Baba. You do it in a physical context. So I am giving the class, you are taking the class, but I am not doing it for you, I am doing it for Shiv Baba. Okay, so people will receive it. You cook, people will eat it. Shiv Baba will not eat it. But you cook for Shiv Baba. Okay, you earn for Shiv Baba. You go to work for Shiv Baba. You don't do it for anybody else. And you know that Shiv Baba will give you the return for that. You have no attachment, no expectation with anybody. You are doing it in a physical context. You are doing it, the fruit of what you are doing is being reaped by people around you, but then you are not doing it for anybody. So that is what is sukarma or good karma. Good karma, the only way to do good karma is when Shiv Baba comes and you do it for Baba towards other people. Indirect for other people and direct with Shiv Baba. So this is the theory of karma also. Tomorrow we will understand more. Okay. There is one question. Let me take that. So the question is, if a child of 4 accepts all negative energy, how do we bless the child in the Satyug? Where will the terrorists be? The terrorists will not be in Satyug. Provided the terrorist is not listening to Gyan, maybe the terrorist is listening to Gyan. So if he is and making effort, he will be in Satyug. But if he is not, he will not be in Satyug. And then if he will be in the soul world, because all those who are not in Satyug, they wait in the soul world until their time comes. Yes, so we understood that we come one after the other, we don't come together, depending on how much purity we attain through effort, and those who don't become pure through effort come later. So they will be in the soul world waiting. Okay. If a child of 4 accepts all negative energy, how do we bless the child? So you don't have to think about what they are accepting. You just focus on what you are giving to the child. Because you see, one thing you must understand, you are not Bhagya Vidhata. You cannot change anybody's fortune. You can only do your bit. Okay. So don't be worried about what will happen to the child, what will be the child's destiny. You have no control over it. So don't fret about what you don't have control over. Just give your best. Give blessings to the child. Always bear in mind that this is also a pure, peaceful, powerful, blissful soul, child of Shiv Baba. When you think about the child, the image that you carry is of a pure soul. That's it. You interact with the drishti of a pure soul. And then leave it to his destiny. No, you cannot change anybody's destiny. Okay. Many people do worship, but they don't change themselves. They want to change other people's behavior. We discussed that, right? We discussed that Bhakti teaches us that power means change others, control others. And Shiv Baba says no. Gyan means change yourself. In Bhakti, there is no discussion of change yourself. Because I gave you the example, Ravan did so much bhakti, he stayed like Ravan only. He didn't become Ram. So, bhakti means you have power over the others. So, what you believe, you become. So, when you are doing bhakti with that intention, that is what you will become. And here Shiv Baba says, your problem is, so the seed is that we believe that my problem is someone else. But when you come to Shiv Baba tells no, nobody is your problem, your sanskar is your problem. Yes, when you come for the class, the first thing I ask you is, when somebody shouts at you, do you feel bad because they shout, or do you feel bad because you listen to it? You feel bad because you listen to it. And why are you so interested in listening to people's rude words? And people are saying after 30 years, I will not forget the abuses you gave me 30 years back. So keep holding on to it. Never forget. Does it make you a peaceful person? No. So we are not troubled because of others. We are troubled because of our own sanskars. And the very important sanskar is focusing on others' behavior, focusing on others' rude words. And Shiv Baba tells us you need to change your sanskar, you don't need to change anybody else. I gave you the example of that jungle strewn with thorns. So you don't need to clear the jungle, you need to wear a slipper in your feet. Okay? How to overcome from guilt trip. So guilt can be finished by doing good karma. Yes, guilt happens when you do bad karma, and just like you can offset a negative with only a positive. Similarly, when you have done something bad, then you feel guilty, and when you do something good, you will get less and less guilty. And the more good karma you do, and for the beginning, taking knowledge and meditating, this is a very good karma. If you just keep doing this also for some time, you will be free from a lot of guilt. Just take the love that Shiv Baba is giving you and your guilt will vanish. So Shiv Baba loves you as you are, and just take that love and light and fill your heart with it every day, and that guilt will be over. Okay? Om Shanti. Let's thank Shiv Baba for some time. As I sit still and quiet, I become aware that I have seen myself through many people's drishti in the past. But now I see myself as my Baba sees me. I am sitting before my father, my parent, my Baba, who is looking at me, the soul, with a lot of love and appreciation. My Baba knows my whole journey and loves me as I am. My sweet Father, you are the ocean of love. And your love is so complete, so unconditional. And in this love, I feel totally accepted. As you accept me, I also accept myself as I am. I have no guilt, no regrets. My heart is clean. My Baba, you have so much faith in me, hope in me. You're telling me that I am a deity. I promise you, my Baba, to become the best version of myself. I also have complete faith that I can change into a deity. Just sit in this beautiful communication with the Divine.
समय जा रहा है, याद कब करोगे? समय जा रहा है, याद कब करोगे? चलता जमाना हो, चलता जमाना, तुम कब चलोगे? तुम कब चलोगे? समय जा रहा है, याद कब करोगे? समय जा रहा है, याद कब करोगे? ज्ञान का दीपक, योग की बातें, बाबा की ज्योति जले दिन राती। ज्ञान की मुरली बाबा सुनाते, श्रीमत पे चलना बाबा सिखाते। बाबा की ना सुनी तो किसकी फिर सुनोगे? किसकी फिर सुनोगे? समय जा रहा है, याद कब करोगे? समय जा रहा है, याद कब करोगे। योग के पालने में बाबा झुलाते, दिव्य गुणों से जीवन सजाते। श्वासों का अब कोई नहीं है ठिकाना, बाबा की याद में जीवन बिताना। अब जो ना किया तो फिर कब करोगे, फिर कब करोगे। समय जा रहा है, याद कब करोगे। समय जा रहा है, याद कब करोगे। चलता ज़माना हो, चलता ज़माना, तुम कब चलोगे, तुम कब चलोगे। समय जा रहा है, याद कब करोगे। समय जा रहा है, याद कब करोगे।